Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Thursday night, and your favorite gentlemen are here. I'm Locke Sebastian.
Dr. Thompson Fontaine.
Emmanuel.
Right, as we normally do on a Thursday night, Pastor Randy Rodney leads us in prayer.
Father, thank you for another great day. You've been good to us, and we are glad. We thank you for taking care of us. We thank you for sheltering us. We thank you for watching over us, Father God. You've been our God and your guide. Today we ask, Lord, that you will take hold of every one of us as individuals. And Father God, you will not just take hold of us, but you will bless the program. You will bless Potsdam this evening. And you'll cause Potsdam to be another time of education, another time of reflection, another time of information, Father God. I ask, Lord, that you will cause the host and the listeners alike to get to a place, Father God, where they will each educate each other. And Father God, time will cause life to be better. Thank you, Father God, for what you have studied, and thank you for what you're going to do on Sports Wrap this evening as you give wisdom to the host and as you give a patient ear to every listener. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for blessing every one of them, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
The way I see this world running should to be, cause now every man's cup is filled great and overflowing. Father, nothing of one around ya, take it and let me go. We really checks that we could have run things, but it never looks so anymore. No. Come down, Father, come down. Come down, Father, come down. Oh, nothing to come down, Father, come down, baby. Come down, Father, baby, come down. In my heart, I know that you won't let your chosen people suffer. I know you'll never let us down. No, no. Many times I could have picked up a gun, I could have go out the street and played it down. That's no fun, no. Sure ain't no fun, cause I think what would happen if the other man thinks the same? Then bullets fall like rain. It's no fun, no. No, it's no fun. Oh, I see greed and I see selfishness. Every man is for himself. Only you can talk to the Father, cause they listen to no one else. No. Come down, Father, come down. I beg you, come down, Father, come down, Lord. To the hearts of those responsible, let them know their actions are despicable. Remind them that it's you who wears the crown. Come down, Father, come down, yes. I beg you, come down, Father, come down. Oh, come down, Father, come down, yeah. Come down, Father, come down.
Sing it, Brother Barry, sing it. Tell them the Father really need to come down, because, in Dominica now, the people who are trusted with the job of apprehended criminals are they themselves the criminals. What a situation in Dominica. So, as Barry said, come down, Father. You really need to come down. We have a lot of problems in this place. Come down. Yeah, guys, tonight we going to have the national football coach. He's going to join us to tell us about his plans. He should be live in studio. Ronald Charles, the same Ronald Charles, will tell us about his cycling project this week. We have Denver Dublin, who was with us some time ago. He's going to tell us about his progress, about his basketball thing at Massac. And we talk about cricket, guys. And can you imagine this CPL? Can you imagine last night? Ali Kafanaz played one match, he's dropped. and then you have people like Johnson Charles and Fletcher playing the same. I mean, I just say I can't believe what's going on. Yeah,
This is crazy.
one game the young man plays and he's dropped, and then you have Fletcher and Johnson Charles still playing football. And you know, guys, last night the test match in Bangladesh against Australia, Steve Smith made 71 when he was 21. He edged the ball. The umpire said not out. The Bangladesh had already jumped. They appealed. When they went for the review, Steve Smith was walking down, only to find that the sneak out system they have in Australia said he didn't hit it, and he admitted in an interview today. He hit. If you go on cricket for, he hit the ball. He admitted.
And the sneaker said he didn't.
He didn't hit it. He was 21. He wanted to make 71, and they only made 198. So they probably would not even have made 150. They might at Australia. They are full strength, by the way, and they're playing in Australia. Yeah. So this thing, DRS thing, is just a problem. A problem. Yeah. But Dr. Fontaine, I'm sure. First of all, I'm sure I would speak to everybody, all three of us, when we want to extend sympathy to the family of the young lady. It's a real terrible way for somebody to die. And as somebody hoping to be the prime minister soon, I am sure, as the leader of a political party, you really want to say something about it.
Yes, Sibo, let me take this opportunity to extend deepest and sincere condolences to the family of the young lady that's involved, and we also want to reach out as well to the family of the young man that is been charged as well. It's not easy. It's a very difficult pain, I think, for the country. When you think a young life taken away so senselessly, I mean, there can be no justification for that kind of behavior. But the fact that is happening to our young people, and especially as it is alleged now, it is someone who is sworn to protect and to behave in that manner. You must look at this more closely and figure out what went wrong. Is there a problem, for example, in the way we select our people to be in those kinds of positions, and then do you carry psychological checks on people who are given access to firearms? I mean, there are a lot of questions that needs to be answered, and a lot of things that need to be looked at. We should not just look at this simply as a murder case. I think there's a lot more to it, because it goes to the quality of our policing. It goes to whether or not, as I said, do we have psychological checks on individuals who are given access to firearms and legally can carry those firearms. These are some of the issues. The young people, do they get the necessary counseling? I mean, our young girls, the whole question of the age of consent as well also comes into sharp display. I cannot tell you the number of communities that I've been where it is known that our young ladies have been taken advantage of by older persons in the community, and nobody says nothing. They are not prosecuted. We have to increase our prosecution of persons who violate our children. So there is a lot in that needs to be looked at, and but it's just a painful time for everyone. And I hope and pray that we can use that opportunity to fix what seems to be wrong at this point.
Yeah, Lobby, I'm sure you want to say something about that, eh?
Well, Sebastian, first of all, Sebastian, what is happening in the police force, Sebastian, is something that we have to examine. I would like to extend condolences to the young lady family. The person who has been accused for this heinous crime, Sebastian.
Well, charged, you mean? Charged
with this heinous crime, Sebastian. First, I've been always looking at the vetting of police officers, Sebastian. Years ago, it was you couldn't become a policeman just like that. All right, there'll be heavy scrutiny. All right, and what I'm hearing when I'm in DA, it used to be there was a slogan, "My power represent me." All right, and I think this is just not good at all. You need to have, it's not the first time. Is it the first, Sebastian? This is not the first time. In terms of, that's not the first time. These things have been happening, right, with police officers, and this has to stop. This has to stop.
Yes, yeah. You're right, Lobby. That's to stop, man. This thing is horrible. Eh? That's a horrible way to die, honestly. I mean,
look.
We were not there. We don't know how it happened, but my goodness.
Sebastian, look, brother, there are things happening right now. You have to look beyond. The economy itself is not in the best in terms of above access to salaries. I know our young girls have been abused. All right, they want this, they want that, and young men who have a little money, they are very abusive. You and these things in Dominica. But
Well, Lomi, what I say, probably people need to go back to the days when you grew up, Dr. Fountain and I grew up in the country, and parents were still in charge of us when we were big men. Anyway, let's take this caller. Good evening.
Sibo, good evening.
How are you?
Good evening, Dr. Funky.
Good evening.
Yes.
Sibo, those topics that I like to cook by myself, I have a granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I have family members at 11, 10. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that is not it's a national issue. All of us crying. Because Sibo, all yesterday, water was coming out from my eyes and it's not my child.
Mm-hmm.
But we all have our family. I also wish to offer sympathy to the family. But Sibo, let me tell you something. Remember Mr. Weeks, Sibo?
Yes. In fact, he and I had a long conversation this morning, yeah.
Instead of taking on Mr. Weeks' suggestion,
They take him out.
victimize Mr. Weeks.
They take him out.
So they're not listening. Some of our people in Dominica, we are reactive, you understand? We're not proactive. When something happens, we say, no, that should there, that should there, that should there. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
When something is wrong, say it is wrong, and whoever has to fix it, try to fix it. You give in good suggestions. They say, no, you don't like country, you don't like this, you don't like that one, you don't like whatever. How you can not like a person? If you give in good suggestions, it's for the betterment of all of us, Sibo. Sibo, another thing I find, in the days of recruiting police officers, there was a system. You all know that, or you work in the system, right? Nobody could tell a commissioner chief of police who to employ. I am just saying, a pirate can send you, no problem. But when you come, you have to come with your application, like everybody else. You sit down, the chief interview everybody for he has a panel. You understand, Sibo? He interview everybody. You're part of the interview. If you're successful, you get the job. You understand? Whether it's a pilot, but you have to be qualify for the job. That's the one. Sibo, you can remember in the days when we had those commissioners. Owen Philip, I don't know whether you're a young person, I'm a senior citizen. Remember Owen Philip was one of the best commissioners Dominica ever had,
Yeah, man.
You had him. You had Mr. Pierre, Ensley Pierre. You had Matthias Lestrade, Sibo. To me, after Mr. Lestrade,
Desmond Blanchard.
Everything fall down, Sibo. Sibo, I'm not saying everybody perfect, All of us have our little shortcomings, do you understand? What about those good policemen we had, Sibo? You can remember that?
Yes.
People like Duke Sevre,
Evans John.
Clement Pierre-Louis,
Evans
Nicholas George, Silver Alfred, Samuel Lucky,
Gabriel Fisher, Butcher,
Butcher,
all these people, yeah.
Those good policemen there. See, in those days, you had to respect police officers,
Correct.
You understand? When you see a police officer, as I said, see, you had to stand at attention. We had respect for the police officers. They would greet us, good morning, how are you? You understand, Sibo? They were like our friends. Another thing I want to ask, Sibo. At some point in time, do they do a mental checkup on the police officers, firemen, and so?
Good
because
question.
Sometimes those jobs are stressful, you understand? So doing the normal checkup, yes, but do you do a mental, mental checkup and see if they're okay? Another thing, when you take in police officers, Sibo, that's my last one. You have to check their background. Sibo, sometimes that person you take there was abused, Sibo, as a child. And you know what I mean, Sibo? And that person become an abuser. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I saw something somebody
Not
said
to their fault,
about the boy's family.
but because of how they were brought up, what they went through, and so on. So you have to check those things. And now, things happening now. All of us saying, yes, do that. But all of a sudden, we used to keep our mouth closed. Nobody talking, they're afraid. I don't know what they're afraid of. The only fear you have to have is fear of the Lord. You cannot be afraid of anybody. So if you see something wrong, and it's wrong, You have to be afraid to say it wrong, Sibo. Good evening.
Yeah, but you know, as I said, Lobby, Dr. Fontaine, when we grew up, Dr. Fontaine and I in the country, Lobby in town, your parents had full control of you, even though you're a big man, you believe you were a big man. But now kids on the street, all hours of the night, and they say it's modern world, talking that foolishness. Next caller, good evening.
Yes, good evening to you, Sibo.
What's up?
Good, well, my cholesterol and among the other things. Good evening, Dr. Fontaine.
Thanks for the laughter.
And good evening to Low Black.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Well, our last caller was long-winded, but I would like to say that first chance I get to have anything to say on this, I'm very sorry about what happened to this young lady. I would like to express sympathy to the family, the lady's family, and to the guy's family, because he's in, big problem for his family. But it is very strange to have heard that we got FBI agents on that to look for the person. And maybe they had something to do or help in a big way. Maybe they did. So I would like to thank them. But I would also like to ask, why wasn't the FBI called in different situations? And we need to get the FBI forensic department to find out where our billions are in the world. This is something we need to do to employ them on that.
Correct.
Mr. Commissioner, please, I'm not talking to Blackmore because that's a politician. Mr. Commissioner, please try and get forensic FBI people to try and help us to find out where our money is. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, we have another caller. Good evening.
Yes, gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to extend my sincere condolences to the family of this young girl. But one thing we have to say is that the morale of the police force now is not what it used to be, This is why it said so, and it's true, You can only earn respect. If the police want people to respect them, they have to respect themselves. There is a video this week that came out in that Mr. Banton thing. There are police officer on duty, and you have women rolling on him and they're not doing anything.
I saw that. I saw that. In fact, two of them were at the front, one at the back. And one legs all in the air. I saw that.
So the chief of police and those responsible man, you have to take care of the police first, man.
Somebody, you don't want to laugh, But when I saw that, I said, but the gentleman is right, what sort of discipline is that? You are supposed to be in a place secure, and you have women my goodness. But before we take our break, Lobby, Dr. Fontaine. Dr. Fontaine, there's something there that's going on now, read this electoral thing, and it is troubling. And that is something that has to be, you remember when they had their all about consultations all over the place, and they're talking about electoral modernization. That's what they say. How can you have modernization and people are registering at houses they don't live, at addresses they don't live? I mean, dead people are being put on lists. What is really going on? And something that bothers me, Dr. Fontaine, Lobby, you have a chief elections officer, and every time a complaint is made, you hear, I send it to the board. You are the person, civil servant, you are getting paid. They only should deal with serious. I mean, I cannot imagine why it is that the chief election officer cannot deal with situations where names are in wrong addresses, all sorts of cocoa macaque is going on in Dominica. And that's why I said the song, Come Down. The father really need to come down to avoid civil war in Dominica.
And also, Sibo, it goes back to the question as to why it is that the very seasoned electoral officer, chief elections officer, was not brought on, even on a contractual basis, to help go through that process. It is clear putting somebody completely new into that it has made a mess of the whole process. A lot of errors are being captured and so on, and you just wonder why it is that we're going through this, a process that was supposed to be seamless and to have worked well. Apparently, it's not. It's not the best. In terms of how it's going.
But Dr. Fontaine, you remember that lady? I don't know if you had heard an interview with Matt. One they said that to get ready, it has to go through different processes that one set will look at it.
Yes,
this
it has to be
thing,
verified.
how then do people no, how does that happen? That somebody can go and give a false address and the person, it gets on the list. And the thing about it is that when you get on the list, nobody can take you out. That's the thing. And all these false, corrupt things, and people talk about modernization. This to me is valorization, valorization. That's how I look at it. And it's troubling, eh? It is troubling. In fact, they talk about people can go and collect their cards. I went there, I got confirmed since November last year. I went on Tuesday, they tell me my name is on the list, card not there. I went there today again.
Yeah,
it's not, in fact, I had to call Danny. I don't know what is going on. I went there today again, no card.
I further said the cards for Rosenhoff.
And that's why I vote.
Yeah.
I vote in Rosenhoff.
But your card is not there.
Not there. I went there on Tuesday, I went there, no card there.
Is the name on the list?
So my name is on the list, but card is not. I don't understand this thing at all. This thing is really troubling, and I don't know, man. I mean, this is really painful, eh? What is happening in Dominica? You cannot believe people don't want to cheat and steal. That's how people want to have their legacy, to cheat and steal, man. No, man. Let's take this caller. This is not wrong. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Sibo. If you said you went to confirm me last November.
November this years. If.
And you haven't gotten your card. I quit.
Well, I went on Tuesday. I went today again. And they're telling me, we'll check. They didn't give me a number to call.
If it's November last year, you say that I quit because I just went to confirm the day before yesterday. You know?
Yeah.
So I quit. You know, but
you voted in Rosenhoff too? You voted in Rosenhoff?
No.
Okay.
I was in Rosenhoff, and I could not vote against Danny Logue, and I could not vote against Julius Timothy, so I had to leave Rosenhoff, you know. The paper they give me, I'm going to laminate it tomorrow, so I will be able to show that I came to consult. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah. This is troubling, man. This whole thing is troubling because you don't know what is going on. I mean, why people just intent on doing that? Cheating, putting names that shouldn't be on the list.
Yep.
Huh? But I heard you say about the 100-something people who confirmed and that sort of thing, Dr. Fontaine?
100 and...
New people or 200
Oh, yes,
new
260.
People. They just put
in the Rosenhoff, yeah. new registrant.
Yeah, let's take this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sibo.
What's up? How are you, man?
Lobby. Gentlemen, I went to reconfirm, or whatever they call it, and it went very smooth.
Right.
I have no complaints about how it went. The problem I have is, I'm hearing all these things are changing, and I don't understand why it's changing so suddenly. And we're getting no education from the head of the commission. I have always said that Skerrit put a babu chet on him, but that's not the right word. Because even if you have a babu chet, you cannot bite, but you can still talk. So if somebody knows the right word for what it should be in Creole, I would like to know. Something that prevents you from talking. I don't know what it is. If you can come up with it, Sibo, help me with it.
Maybe Lobby, Dr. Fontaine can help you.
Because of Babu Chet, you can still talk.
Yes.
The man should still be able to talk. But apparently he cannot talk.
Okay.
And part of his job is to educate the public.
I agree.
How can you have a head of an electoral commission that is silent?
Wow.
How can that be? And furthermore, to contradict things, he's a CBI agent. That makes it even worse. It makes it obvious that Skerrit tell him to hush his mouth. So he cannot educate, he cannot say anything. I mean, he must be removed. He should step down. He should have enough integrity to just step out of that job and let somebody like, the likes of Mr. Weeks who can just pull us with talk and give us all the truth. Somebody like that. But you have to educate the public. You see, we have a problem about the public too. The public is not so into this address thing. They want to vote in any constituency that they were registered in at some point in history, and now they're living in a different one. People have to understand, and we must educate that when you're in the constituency, living in, that is where your interest is, and that is where you want to elect somebody to represent you. You cannot be living in Roseau Central and want to, vote in Rivière-Syriac.
I agree.
But one last point, Sibo. A question really. where is Roosevelt Skerrit registered? Because I was listening to the good pastor, and he had the document in his hand. Roosevelt Skerrit was the first name to be reconfirmed in Roseau South. In
Roseau Central.
Yes,
Central.
You remember that?
Yes, correct.
So Dr. Fountain, please find out where Roosevelt Skerrit is registered for me. Thank you very much.
It's in Roseau Central. I can answer that. That's an easy one.
Is registered there?
Yes, Roseau Central.
What's his address?
Good question. That's a very good question.
We need an address. Thank you.
Right, let's take this last caller before we go to break. Good evening. Right, Dr. Fountain, before we go to break, we mustn't feel comfortable. We're in the hurricane season, and I think there's bad weather coming soon. So probably tell the listeners so that at least give them some comfort, please.
Yes, Sibo, very quickly, there is a very strong tropical system that's coming our way. It is supposed to be around the islands over the weekend, which is really from tomorrow night. The good thing
tomorrow
is,
night.
Yeah, it is kind of sped up, which has kind of helped as well. It was supposed to be coming in on Saturday. It's now most likely Friday. The good thing is, for us, so far it's looking like there is strong wind shear around the islands, so which will prevent it from developing. But what is expected now is at least gusty winds and rain
tomorrow night
into Saturday.
Wow, yeah. That's not good. Let's take the last caller before we go to break. Good evening. Hello. Okay, well, the caller, are you there? No. Hello? No. Right, so we're going to go to break. Before we go to break, I just want to say, Ranalanda, good evening. Dodal, I haven't seen you for a while. Good evening, how are you? Gerald Corbett and Pat Corbett down in Portsmouth. Wavel, good night. Let's take a break now. When we get back, we're going to be talking football.
Where in Roseau, Kima Habis, you can just walk in and order all your chicken parts, wholesale, and even enjoy retail. It's at AC Shillingford. All chicken parts available that you can afford. Fresh breast. And you know breast is the best. Shillingford wings have muscle. After you eat it, you can fly. As for Shillingford chicken drumsticks, even swinging stars just order drumsticks from Shillingford. And for those of you who love Risapul, AC Shillingford keeps your belly full. Buy your chicken wholesale at AC Shillingford. From wings to thighs to drums to breasts to backs to necks. It's available. It's always available and it's affordable. Plus, you've got pork feet, ham and turkey, bull foot, chicken nuggets, pepperoni, all those right seasonings to make your kitchen keep on ticking. Buy your wholesale chicken at AC Shillingford. When you think of chicken, think of AC Shillingford. Always ready.
The economic power Dominica revolves at AC Shillingford and Company. For timeless, trusted, dependable, comprehensive insurance coverage, it has to be New India Insurance. Need anything overseas? Shopbox Dominica Isle of Freight is your advance on-time delivery right to your doorstep. For super savings on all your groceries, come to ACS Super Shopping Center for laundry, groceries, cooking, beverages, and event supplies on King Jonathan Street. ACS 7-Eleven on High Street, supplying your everyday essentials. Fill up your vehicle gas tanks, get your cooking gas, and top-ups of all kinds. Or go to 7-Eleven Portersville, where the best-kept secret is conveniently located upstairs in the confidential escape or staycation self-contained accommodations at the Porter's Place. AC Shillingford, where you spend less and get more.
When you want the get, you do shop at SDN. Better than the rest, go shop at SDN. And they all conquer, shop at SDN. You get more for life, shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. Yeah, shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. What is that? Shop at SDN. Yes, family, customer friendly, with free locations, it's so convenient, and our price is Madam, that's where you belong. Oh, tell your mama, Tell your papa, shop at SDA. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SDA. And the nan and cousin friend, open power, all of them. My grandpa, open neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. What? Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Check us out at Pottersville, High Street, and downtown Rose.
Some laundry detergents may miss the mark when it comes to adding softness to your loads. But fortunately, in Dominica, we've got Ensueno fabric softener. Ensueno is the conditioner of laundry care, making your clothes feel butterfly soft. Discover Ensueno fabric softener. Long-lasting, nature-inspired fragrances protect your fabrics. Revitalize your laundry with a refreshing scent of spring fresh Ensueno fabric softener. Makes your clothes fluffy, alive, and vibrant. Love all over Dominica. Local agents, AC Shilling Company. Available at all supermarkets at your favorite friendly neighborhood outlet or shop. Use Ensueno.
Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, your home away from home. Fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Yes, we are back, and before we take our guests, we must always remind people that if you want water, buy Twapito water. Made in Dominica, the best water. You're looking to buy your sneakers and t-shirts, go to Del Naji Sports Shop. Lobby always say by the Point Michel bus stop. And we cannot never forget AC Shillingford, who has always been kind to sponsor Sports Wrap. Right. We're going to be talking football, and we have the now appointed national coach with us right in studio. Mr. Hurd, good night.
Good night. Thank you for having me back on.
And you have Dr. Fountain and Lo Black there. Your same friends are there.
The usual faces, yeah.
Right.
It's nice to be back, guys. Thank you.
Right. Mr. Hurd, everything's okay? You're with that? In fact, I'll tell you what. We had the president of the FA here last week. Well, he said at the time you were the coach, but we understood that Sports Wrap, your contract was only signed this week. Is that a fact?
The contract only signed on Monday, I believe. Yeah,
right.
Monday. So
he was not really correct last week.
No, actually he was. He said that the final things they were still working on the final details. It had not yet signed. He did say.
So you signed it on Monday?
Yeah, we signed on Monday.
And you're comfortable with what you signed?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's obviously a big risk. It's a big gamble for me. You know, I have to leave a safe, secure job with FIFA. To come and do this, but I firmly believe in the players that we've got here. I believe in the staff we've got here, and I believe in my ability to take this to the next level. And I believe it was the right step for me in my career.
So you feel comfortable, because I am sure for your resume, as they say, when you ever leave and go, that would be good. At least you'll be the coach of a national football team, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's only ever good if you get results, though, right? So I always have to make sure that the first step or the first jump into this sort of level of coaching was the right one. I've been careful up to now, but I feel that this is the right one. I really feel that we've got the right set of players. I believe the right staff around it, and I think we can do a good job. That's why I took it.
Right. Well, any job anybody goes, they have an objective, and I'm sure you're going to start. You acted before you coach, but now your appointment as a coach. What you hoping that at the end of the 2 years to achieve? What are your hopes? I'm not here.
Yeah, I think everybody, I mean, it's a results-based business. Everybody will judge on results, right? For me, though, as much as, for me, it's the process to get the results. I want to make sure that there's a better structure in place. I want to see us playing better football, producing better football players. Now, in turn, that should give us good results. Thing is, everybody's trying to do the same thing, though. So, and results are never a guarantee in football. But most certainly, what I want to do, I want to bring some pride back to the island. I want people to be happy with the product they see on the field. I want them to be happy with the direction they see us going in. And I really want to push it in the right direction.
I heard you on another radio station speaking about you're happy with the law now in Dominica where second generation players will be allowed to play. Now, having said that, have you started searching around for players you think you can get into the national team?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of players it's not just us going to players. Players are coming to us. Dominica, international football itself has an appeal. But I think Dominicans and Dominica as a whole, there's a real pride of island, pride of country there, right? And these people, these players, good players, they want to represent their parents, their grandparents. They want to represent the family to heritage. So a lot of them have actually reached out to ourselves in recent weeks. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about that until January comes along. So what we're doing is, and my focus is the Nations League right now. We're creating the database. We're starting to put the pieces in place, gathering the paperwork, the birth certificates, what we need, so that when January comes, and if these players, require being called upon, those players are there and eligible. Yeah.
The squad selected for next month's matches, have you included foreign-based players in that team?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We need foreign-based players. We always need that. So there'll be a few new faces, I'd imagine, but nothing too drastic. There was a few new local players that we gave a chance to, but we're just in the process. Again, look, I was appointed on Monday, so this is a rapid turnaround for me, which isn't ideal at all. But we're in the process just now of looking at the players on island. We'll always look at players on island first. As I've always said, the players from overseas have to be levels above what we have. Now, there are a few that are in that bracket, and they'll come in. And we'll see. We'll review from there. But at the minute, we're focused on the on-island players. I've got, I would say, probably 8 to 10 shortlisted overseas players that we can pull from for the Nations League game.
Were you involved in the selection of the squad?
Yes. Yeah. I was. Obviously, look, Mr. Etienne spoke to you guys last week.
Yes, he was here.
So you're aware that there were talks going on in the background, and I was aware that when a contract was signed, it was going to be an immediate thing. So we had everything ready in the background, ready to go. So when the contract was signed, we could hit the ground running. I signed the contract Monday. We trained on Monday night. So everything was, a real, again, not ideal, but it was a real quick turnaround. But it was me. I selected the team, so I'm responsible for that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, Lobby.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Ho. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, my friend. Everything okay?
Yes, everything was very much concerned about my country's football and where are we going. Now you have taken over as coach. You have had your standing them already as an acting. I have a few questions and observations, more questions. And the first thing is this. I'm happy you said after your 2 years, you're hoping that to get a standard. My thing is this. I want to see us be able to move deeper into CFU foot competition and also CONCACAF competition. But to get there, the number of hurdles that have to be cleared. The first thing is this, as you said about overseas players, and you highlighted quality, which is very, very important, quality. Now, you have looked at Dominica football. What is the areas in position of, if you have to include overseas players, you're looking at?
Are you talking regarding positions on the field?
On the field.
Yes, on the field.
Look, I mean, there are certain positions that we need more than others, but if a player of quality comes up, of real quality comes up, then we take that player. If I take a player, for example, in Odell Lavelle Okay, now let's say Odell wants to play in the 10 or a striker for us. Now, if a fantastic number 9 or a fantastic number 10 comes up, I have to take that player. That's the way it is. So for me, I'm not really saying, okay, look, we have 2 or 3 positions that we're looking at with more focus than others, right? But I'm not isolating any position on the field. We want the best quality we can get. And that was an example there in case Odell was listening. But that's just an example, you know. Odell is a top quality player. However, if a player comes in that plays in the same position and he's better, I have to look at that as a coach.
Yes. Now, in terms of Dominican football, you have seen it, first of all. You look at our football in Dominica, you're looking at the league itself. What is the areas of deficiency you have seen among Dominica footballers, senior players in particular?
Yeah, look, I've now been on here 4 times, and I've been honest every time. The league isn't good enough, okay? And I've said that very openly, and I don't mind to say that the league has to be stronger. But in the league being stronger, I think people need to take themselves in the league more serious as well. Talking about the players, training, extra training, looking after themselves. Regardless if it's an amateur league or not, there has to be a pride in what you do. There has to be pride in the football. And of course, I know the players and the clubs and everything will get put back on DFA. And of course, DFA they've got their things that they need to pull their weight with to make sure that the league's stronger, right? I don't shy away from that at all. But for me, I think a big part of where we could be better. I think if the players really, you know, because I see them, they're not bad football players. It's not like we have bad football players, but what we've got are football players that don't push themselves. We have football players that don't do the extras. We have football players that are unfit, poor decision makers, and that just comes with that just comes with the league itself not really being challenging enough. I wouldn't say technically there's any deficiencies in there. I think we've got some real talent. I was able to pull a squad of 28 local players, and you know, none of them really looked out of place. There are real talent in that league. The players they have to be treated a little bit more professionally, but they also have to act a little bit more professionally, in my opinion.
Let me just, I'll come back to you. Let me just ask him to follow up on you. You just said that you said it openly that the league is not good enough. There are 10 teams. Don't you think that some of the teams are not up to, maybe they need to have less teams and you have a better quality? I'm only asking, you're the expert there, because you just said the league is not good enough. So what can be done to improve on the league, on the performances on the field in the league?
Yeah, there's a few things. There's a few things that can be done. Of course, that might be one of them. I've seen different places do different things. Whether they and to be fair, you know, DFA did tier the first division this year, so you have a tier 1, tier 2, right? And that's the direction that a few places have gone in with tiering the leagues. You've seen incentives being given to clubs. You've seen draft systems. All manner of things have came into these local leagues to try and improve the standard. Do I feel 10 teams is too much? Maybe, but of course there's certain criteria that the association have to meet as well with FIFA, with CONCACAF, and these things as well, right? So sometimes as well, your hands are tied a little bit in that sense.
Yes, Coach, congratulations on your appointment, and we really trust that your tenure will be good for football. But the reality is you're coming into a situation where the country is ranked 182nd in the world out of 200. So we are really in the last bottom of it. I think the last time we were probably 20 or so places ahead would have to go back to 2010, if I recall correctly, around the time of the 2010 World Cup. So it means that we've seen, if you like, successive years of decline in the quality of our football, and right now, practically all of the other countries are ahead in the Caribbean CONCACAF region, ahead of us in Dominica. So how difficult do you think your task is or will be to try to at least move us from where we are? So at least we can be settled at least for a while within the middle tier of our counterparts in the Caribbean region?
It's going to be extremely difficult. I accept it's extremely difficult, but I don't shy away from that. Like I say, I wouldn't be sitting here in this chair and haven't signed the contract if I didn't believe in my ability to turn things around here and the players' ability to be able to execute what we need to. Now, there has to be a complete change of culture within the team, within that environment, with the senior team.
Call us, stand by.
So like I say, but if I didn't believe, I understand it'll be difficult, but I firmly believe in my ability as a coach and a leader to implement that change, and that's why I'm here. I know it'll be difficult.
Good evening, Colin. Good morning.
Yes, my brother. What's up, my brother? You okay?
Very good.
I just want
I'm
to
good.
congratulate the coach, and welcome him, because that is what we really need. And then when you talk about the league, it just means, to me, that's what I say to myself. We need to expand on the league. And the league is supposed to be longer. Too much, when we're going to play a national team, that's when we're going to train. So we have a coach for 10 years. He will watch the talent, because I think in Dominica, we have the talent that the whole world is looking for. But because of lack of opportunities and facilities, that is where the game is. So if the Windsor Park, we can think of somewhere else for our national stadium. You understand? And we can run some games in the Windsor Park, bring the neighbor islands close, bring the school league back together. Get the people and fit them, and everything will be irate. So, sir, I welcome you. You're one of the most friendliest country in the world. You will enjoy it. We have fresh food for you, water for you to bathe every day, and everything is very nice, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've been here, 2 years now, Kurt?
Yeah, 2 years now, and that's another reason why I wanted to stay. Callers like that, they're such a friendly. He's right. It's such a friendly place and great people.
And you feel comfortable here?
I love it here. Honestly, I love it here.
Yeah. Compared to, well, it's too hot now up by your side. I can imagine I'd be saying that to you. Where you come from is a place normally very cold, Scotland. It's very hot. Now it's too. In fact, you said today was probably hottest for a long time in Britain. Long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Dr.
Yeah, so tell us, what's the first, just remind our callers, what is the first challenge for you as far as first time we get a chance to see you and Dominica perform?
The first challenge for me is Nations League, and that's what my head's on right now. So I don't think there's anything being announced yet, but we're looking to arrange a friendly match in September before at Windsor Park.
Well, the president said that against
Anguilla. So nothing confirmed yet from the association, but we're looking to arrange a friendly match with Anguilla before we play the 2 games against Cayman Islands and Puerto Rico. After that, we travel out to Puerto Rico to play Guyana twice. We'll have 5 games in that 2-week period, and that's my complete focus at the minute, because, like I say, as much as we're talking about long-term development and the changes and the culture, ultimately, if I don't win these games, my neck's on the table, right? That's the reality, and I accept that as a football coach. So as much as I want to change this, I want to change that, I have to focus on getting results immediately.
Right.
And that's where I am just now.
Right. And Coach, you've been here for 2 years. You've had a chance to see some of the players develop over that time. Have you seen some really good prospects as far as those when you first came? You've looked at their development.
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually got 3 players going out to Croatia this month for a tryout in Europe. So Jalil Alexander, Anton Larocque, and Davon George. Now the 3 of those are going to Croatia for a 3-month tryout period in Europe. Anton was at Portsmouth when I came. He was well known. He played with the national team a couple of times already. Jalil Alexander was completely unknown, hadn't played for any national teams at all. He was brought to our attention. We had him in the squad. He never got on, but that experience for him at a young age, and like I say, he's now going to Europe. Fantastic talent.
Gavin George from Southend.
And Davon George from Portsmouth.
Oh, Davon, not Gavin.
Okay. But who arranged that though? For the guys who go to Croatia?
So I believe that's been done through Jerry, Portsmouth Bombers. I believe Portsmouth Bombers have got a link with a connection with a company, and these guys have been selected to go over, which is great. Credit to Jerry, credit to Portsmouth Bombers. So it's great to see those guys going out. There's an example of, and I think and I keep saying it, we just need one of these players from the island to make it outside to show it's possible. We don't really have that guiding light at the minute. And I think that's why I'm so excited for these boys. I'm so determined as well for at least one of them to go and get that contract. I'd love to say, look at this boy. He's came through the system. You can do it. Anybody can do it. So, but yeah, there's so much as well. I mean, even now I look at the squad we've brought in. You know, Taran George, 16 years old. I had him last year with under 15s. He's in there playing Premier League football every week with South East. Doesn't look out of place.
Yeah.
Well, you would know it.
So young Taran, great football player. And young Brexit, Jared Bonney, 17 years old, playing for Bath Estate. Again, first time playing Premier. But if you're young enough, you're good enough. And there is immense talent at that age in Dominica, and we'll definitely tap into that.
Yes, Sibo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Her, football itself, some years ago, John Barnes, which you know, from England, he was in the Caribbean doing some scouting. And one of the things he said that, yes, talent-wise, but what he observed in the Caribbean is the players playing without off the ball. Do you see that as a problem in Dominica?
It's what the off the ball on the field, you mean? Sorry.
Yes, on the field.
Yeah. Look, the thing, and we had a set. I'll be very open. We had a session on Tuesday that wasn't good enough on Tuesday night, and I think the reason for that was, again, it just comes to understanding of the game and movements, right? And players, I always say, you know, the players are watching the ball a lot. They don't watch the game a lot. You know, there isn't a lot of spatial awareness. There isn't a lot of understanding of that stuff, and that's fine. It probably isn't something that we coach enough at the younger levels, and they don't play enough football here on the island in terms of, as you've touched on, youth internationals, schools, clubs. These games aren't held regular enough. If I look back to my upbringing in Scotland, where I would play 2 games a week for almost 10 months a year, you're bound to learn from your mistakes. You know, we don't have that luxury here. So the players do grow up and they do need a little bit more refinement when it comes to their understanding of the game. But we'll get there. They want to learn. That's the most important thing. It's not like they're blind to it. They do want to learn. They do want to listen. So we'll get there with that.
But you made a good point there, which is very, very important. To acquire these skills, it has to be acquired at the youth level. Your grassroots is very, very important. Do you agree with me from there?
Yeah, of course, because you have to. You even me myself, you have to make mistakes all the time, and that's how you learn. And the younger you can make those mistakes, the faster you learn. So, absolutely, they have to be playing football, right from a younger level. That's something I think you've seen now. Credit to DFA and Mr. Badwell, who recently, you've seen the Grassroots Festival. You've seen a couple of new things opening up. Under 15 boys, you've seen under 16 girls. There's things happening there where they are playing a little bit more football. Is it enough? No, it's not enough, but it's more than what it was before. And I think that we have to look at that as a step in the right direction. And hopefully we continue to organise these and we continue to get the players with footballs at their feet.
Yeah, Coach, earlier you mentioned the fact that you'll be looking at overseas players to kind of strengthen the squad. Just explain the criteria. Is it that you have to be born of Dominican parentage, or what allows you to bring someone in from overseas on the water?
So the current ruling is your parent must be born in Dominica. Birth certificate to show that, passport, etc. The ruling from January 1st is that your grandparents can be born in Dominica.
Okay.
And if their birth certificate shows they were born in Dominica, then you're valid. You're eligible for the passport.
Oh, okay.
So that like I said, when you look at the Windrush and the timings of everybody going, we're probably a little bit behind everybody in that sense. I think we've lost a lot of players to Guadeloupe. We've lost a lot of players to St. Lucia, to Barbados, right? We just have to suck that up and accept it for what it is. But now we've got an opportunity to really go and do something. And it's my job between now and January to ensure we've got the right people on board and the right people, coming into the team to make it better.
You have just over a month before the international, I would say, in Dominica. So you think you have enough time to get your players fit enough and ready for the challenges? Because you say you have what? 4 games in how many days? 5 days?
5 games in 2 weeks.
5 games in 2 weeks. That's going to be tough. So men have to be fit. And today is what? Today is the 13th, eh? The match is on the
first game against Anguilla will hopefully be the 21st of September.
Right, so you have just over a month and a week.
Yeah, I mean, look, no, realistically, no, because it's difficult. We've got the Premier League running at the minute as well, which affects my ability to train. It also affects the ability to use Stock Farm. So,
what about the Windsor Park? If that's where you're going to be playing, have they made arrangements so you could go and train there?
Yeah, look, I went to check Windsor Park today. It's being lined at the minute. CONCACAF are coming to check it next week. I wouldn't say it's ready as yet to go and put a training session on it. It's not looking bad. But with CONCACAF coming next week, we'll allow them to assess it. And what we'll do is most likely we'll move into Windsor Park from September and give ourselves a 3-week window of getting used to the field there. So that'll be the plan. But yeah, look, the players need to take a lot of responsibility. We've given them a program to do over the weekend to keep themselves fit. Likes of next week, I've got 2 training sessions. 2 training sessions isn't enough.
That's all you mean?
That's all.
The week.
There's Premier League games on next week.
Wow. But could you have an arrangement with the FA, seeing that you have these internationals coming up to see what they could do, tweak the fixture a bit or whatever?
Well, this is us working with the DFA. You know, the plan is, and DFA have been very accommodating in a sense of, I've said, you know, I'm happy for you guys to run the league as it is, as long as the league finishes when it has to finish, which is September 6th, I believe, is that weekend. And we're going to go into a training camp on September 10th. And that's going to give us 2 weeks of a training camp where I've got the boys with me completely to 1 to 2 sessions a day, really working on them and getting them ready.
Does the training camp mean everybody's going to be living in one location?
That's the plan at the minute. Again, unconfirmed at the minute, but that's certainly the plans that are in the pipeline. So again, credit to DFA for supporting that and allowing that, and that'll increase our training time immensely leading up to the games, which will be much needed.
Question.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, another question, Coach. It has to do with systems.
Yep.
Do you the system you have? Do you have the right players with your system?
Yeah, well, we're going to mix it up a little bit. I know, as you know, last time we went out, we played a back 3. Mm-hmm. We played a back 3 in the games in March. Again, I think when we spoke, I was saying to you guys that for me, you know, a system is something you see on the field, but what's more important is that the players understand the game principles. And I think as long as, they'll never change regardless if it's a 4-3-3, a 4-4-2, you know, a 3-5-2. As long as they play how I want them to play and they understand the movements between each other. So in terms of a system, that's not one that's locked in at the minute. The players need to be comfortable in 2 or 3 different systems. They have to be able to play a back 3. They have to play a back 4. They have to play with 2 up front, 1 up front. They have to be ready for anything. And me as a coach as well, I have to be ready because you never know what the game's going to throw at you. You know, I remember when we went to play Guyana, and I had an idea Guyana were going to play one way, and 5 minutes into the game, Guyana were doing something a little bit different. I thought, okay, fine. I have to adapt that as well. The players have to be ready for that. So we'll work on a few different systems, but the main thing is getting them to play how we want them to play, regardless of that system.
Because you have made a valid point, a very, very important point. Able to play different system, because you just said early on, I think some players are moving overseas, and it's good that if they can adapt right at home, when they move overseas, it won't be a problem.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that exposure overseas for these guys in terms of their tactical understanding, their game understanding, playing at a faster pace is only going to benefit these boys. So I'm delighted to see these guys going overseas, and I'm sure that when they come back, they're going to be even better players and even more suited to and be able to help the younger ones even more so than they are just now. So, but yeah, absolutely. I think that going overseas is going to be great for these young ones, learning the game and that tactical understanding.
Yes. Tell listeners for me how important it is, the importance of acquiring skills at a young age?
Yeah, it's crucial. Everything's harder to learn as you grow up. Everything's a lot harder. You know, we have the way the brain develops is you've got your golden years, if you will. You know, sort of between that 7 and 11, where you start to acquire the technical information and the physical movements that are going to carry you for it's never impossible to learn, but those are the formative years for development, right? Where you start to find yourself. And if we're talking football, you know, it's that ball manipulation and all these things when the brain's still a sponge at those years. So it's so crucial for us that we've got these players in young, kicking the ball early, not just physical movement. You know, I can't encourage multi-sports enough as well. You know, when it comes to basketball, volleyball, netball, tennis. All these things have got components of football inside them. Whether it's tennis, we talk the side-to-side movement, the front and back sort of 5-6 yard, you know, sprints. Again, that's I can't emphasize enough. Just getting the kids to play sports in general. You know, it's not just a football thing for me. Let's get the kids to play sports. And if they want to specialize when it comes to 12, 13-year-old into football, amazing, brilliant. They've got those skills that are transferable. And football does the same for other sports as well. So. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something we need to do, but I can't emphasize enough the importance of sports at a young age.
I didn't hear Burkhart's name in the squad. What's up with him?
Jerome is he actually took a job as a deckhand on a I want to say a super yacht. So he's on a super yacht. The man's living his best life in Europe.
So he's giving up football?
He's not giving up football at all. Trust me. Jerome was back last month. We went fishing and we caught up and he was desperate to train. But the reality was he had to go back on the boat again. Jerome is far from giving up football. But the reality is, again, you know, he got a job as a deckhand on a super yacht, which is fantastic for him. I'm delighted for him. And he's doing so well with that. So
I didn't hear his name. I was wondering why.
No, Jerome would have been the first one on there. Jerome's a great guy.
Why you think being on a yacht, not training, you think you'll be able to get back into football? Obviously, he must be making good money.
No, he's also doing well, but no, it's one of those. I know he's looking after himself. Like I say, he was back last month. We went out on the boat and we had a good catch up. He's playing his paddle. He's playing his pickleball. He's playing his football. He's still got his goalkeeper gloves when he goes on the boat. So anytime the boat stops and he gets a chance to see a bit of grass, he says he's got a couple of colleagues that like to play ball, so they go and kick the football up. He's certainly not away from it.
Okay, because I was really wondering, man. I mean, your main goalkeeper, why isn't he playing? Go ahead, Lobby. I noticed you still want to ask me a question. Lobby, we're not hearing you. Your mic.
Sorry. No, he made a point there which is very, very important. It's good that people listen, is that acquiring this skill, your motor movements, kids have to allow to play at a young age. And so their motor movements, you know, their motor skills can be developed when they get into specific sports.
Yeah, it's always something I encourage. People always think, you know, as a football coach, my focus is in it, and it is football, right? But when it comes to younger kids at that age, you know, 7 to 10, 6 to 10, I would always encourage swimming. I would always encourage tennis, volleyball, football, basketball. Get out, get active. And like I say, all these things are transferable back into the game.
Right. Well, Coach, I am sure you want to go and watch some football at Stockford. Oh, no, it's in Jubla tonight. They're playing, right? Is there a Premier League match at Stockford?
Jubla's playing Harlem, yes.
Where in Jubla they're playing that match tonight, right?
Almond Park is where?
In Jubla, yeah. Well, I guess there'll be a big crowd there tonight for sure. There'll be wherever they play in Jubla, the ground is packed. Well, yeah. Well, Coach, we want to wish you all the best with your training. We obviously will want you back either just before the tournament or after the tournament. So we hope things work well for you and that the guy is ready. And I wish you the best because, you know, being a coach, if you don't start well, you could be under enormous pressure.
Well, if I wasn't under pressure, I am now. So thanks for that.
So I know you're under pressure. So we want to wish you all the best. Hope the training goes well and that you'll be ready in time for the match in Dominican, because Dominicans will come and watch football because there are two matches on the same day, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
so obviously the full group will be here. So that means on the first day there's going to be a game at 3 p.m. That's going to be
the first day, right?
Guyana,
The first day.
Guyana, Puerto Rico, and we're going to play in the evening.
And what time will the Dominica match be?
We're going to play at, I believe it's 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8
okay.
p.m. And then I think.
Well, we'll be out of here by then, so we'll be able to come and watch the game. Yeah. Sports Wrap will be out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the support.
Right. So thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Man.
We'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll take a break again. Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
No, guys, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man.
And like I said, anything at all.
No problem. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
Where in Roseau,
He's not there.
Order all your chicken parts, wholesale, and even enjoy retail. It's at AC Shilling Further. All chicken parts available that you can afford. Fresh, Shilling Further wings have muscle.
You know him?
Buy your chicken wholesale at AC Shilling Further. From wings to thighs to drums to breasts to backs to necks. It's available. It's always available and it's affordable. Plus, we got pork feet, ham and turkey, pulled foot, chicken nuggets, pepperoni, all those right seasonings to make your kitchen keep on ticking. Buy your wholesale chicken at AC Shilling Further. When you think of chicken, think of AC.
Or when he was on.
Always ready.
The economic power of Dominica revolves at AC Shillingford and Company. For timeless, trusted, dependable, comprehensive insurance coverage, it has to be New India Insurance. Need anything overseas? Shopbox Dominica and Isle of Freight is your advance on-time delivery right to your doorstep. For super savings on all your groceries, come to ACS Super Shopping Center for laundry, groceries, cooking, beverages, and event supplies on King Jonathan Street. ACS 7-Eleven on High Street, supplying your everyday essentials. Fill up your vehicle gas tanks, get your cooking gas, and top-ups of all kinds. Or go to 7-Eleven Portersville, where the best-kept secret is conveniently located upstairs in the confidential escape or staycation self-contained accommodations at the Porter's Place. AC Shillingford, where you spend less and get more.
When you want the best, you do shop at SDN. Better than the rest, go shop at SDN. And they all compare, say shop at SDN. You get more for what is there, shop at SDN. Shop at SDN, yeah, shop at SDN. Shop at SDN, what is there, shop at SDN. Yes, family, customer friendly, with free locations, it's so convenient, and our price is there. That's where you belong. Oh, tell your mama, tell your papa, shop at SDN. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SDN. Auntie, nan, and cousin, friend, open power, all of them. Grandma, grandpa, open neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. Shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. Check us out at Portersville, High Street, and downtown Rose.
Some laundry detergents may miss the mark when it comes to adding softness to your loads. But fortunately, Dominica, we've got Ensueno fabric softener. Ensueno is the conditioner of laundry care, making your clothes feel butterfly soft. Discover Ensueno fabric softener. Long-lasting, nature-inspired fragrances protect your fabrics. Revitalize your laundry with the refreshing scent of spring fresh Ensueno fabric softener. Makes your clothes fluffy, alive, and vibrant. Love all over Dominica. Local agents, AC Shillingford & Company. Available at all supermarkets, your favorite friendly neighborhood outlet, or shop. Use Ensueno.
Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment.
Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@pottersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Potters Place, your home away from home, fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Yes, we are back and we're going to be talking some basketball. And I think on the line with us, we have Denver Dublin. Denver, are you there? Denver? Denver, are you there?
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen.
Right, we have you now. Denver, some time ago, you were on our program when you launched your basketball camp or whatever it is in Massac. Tell us about that. We haven't heard you since, so I think listeners want to know how is that progressing, or how has it progressed?
Yeah, good evening again, gentlemen. Sibo. Who is in the studio besides studio?
Dr. Fountain Studio and Lobby is online.
Okay, Mr. Fountain Lobby. Yeah. Since I launched the basketball academy, that's been going very well, I must say. We have about 34 students, ages 6 to 17, co-ed boys and girls, and so far so good. The training sessions has been I would say every Saturday and 3 to 4 times a week. Yeah, and then Saturday is an extra day because the Saturday is just basically my other trainer and myself do both on Saturday because we want all the kids to be together. While he's doing with the elderly, I do with the younger ones. And then during the week, I will take from the ages 6 to 11 one day. The other day, I take from 12 to 17. But I must say the attendance have been great. The parents have been responding well. Trainer have been coming to training and yeah, it's doing good.
So tell me, I mean, when does it end? When the summer is over, it ends, or you will continue?
No, I still continue over this. So I actually use this summer to launch it because of, during the summer times, kids are idle. Parents want somewhere to put their children. So I actually used it to launch it, and then it continues after the summer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have students from all over, or only in the Massac, Kenfield, Maho area?
No, all over. I have students as far as Grand Bay, Bellevue, Chopin, Warner, all about. I have more much kids from the West Coast.
All the way from Grand Bay?
Yes. All the way from Grand Bay. Today, well, and that is one of the students and the other person that's from Bellevue, Chopin that have been consistently, and you're seeing the growth in the children, and trust me, they love it.
So you're satisfied with the way things are going? You're satisfied?
So far, yes, very much. As time going by, you expect to see improvement. You understand? Some children are a bit slower to catch up than others, and some, just natural in them. You just have to just get the fundamentals. But all I doing is just working on the basics, the ball handling, the pivoting, catching the ball, you know, defensive drills, be able to shoot properly and those fundamentals.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lobby, you're a basketball man. I'm sure you want to ask him a question. You're the basketball man. Lobby, your mic muted. Your mic muted?
Hold on, yes. But
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
One of my second thoughts, you know, yes, I'm not listening to him. I mean, in terms of, he said it's some reinforcing the drills, reinforcing. Do you do a lot of reinforcement with the fundamentals?
Okay, when you say reinforcement, break that down a little bit for me.
Well, the drills, doing
So I
something
can
over, because they are very in the early stages. So somebody drill like ball handling, for example, somebody different like ball handling, moving with the ball. You do a lot of that, a lot of that, because
that's what I said earlier on. I placing a lot of emphasis because with basketball, if you cannot handle the ball,
you have to.
it doesn't make sense. You try to play whole court. So I have cones, I have ladders, I have cones. So I make them dribble through the cones. You understand? And make sure they use their pivot properly. You know, jab one way, fake the other way. You know, make sure when they dribble in the ball, they have a proper base, a wide base, so you know they can balance yourself properly. And while I doing that, I incorporating the fitness part of it. I have hurdles and I have ladders. You understand? I have some heavy balls. So remember the normal weight of a basketball compared to the heavy balls I have. So if they can handle the heavy balls, when it comes for the lighter ball, it'll be much easier for them. Their handles will be much quicker and more, you know. Yeah. So honestly, well, I sent Sibo a few videos already, so you can maybe just show you a few of what I do in the kids and them. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That you know, that's good in terms of what you just said, what you're doing and understanding, because the game you play, the game is not an easy game to play. Basketball, you'll have to look at it and say, I can do that, but not an easy game. It's a lot of work, and it's very good to acquire any sport at a tender age, to acquire the skills of the game very, very early while you're young. You learn very fast.
Yeah, because I have the actually when I sent out the flyer, I said it was 7 to 17, but I have a boy that 5-year-old, and you'll be very much surprised, when his father told me, boy, the handles, and some of the parents would say, hey, from time you see them kids come home, they cannot wait to go practice next day, mommy, I need a ball, I need to put up a rim in my yard. They're waiting for the next day of practice. You understand? Yeah. It's coming well.
Make sure you tell the kids that their schoolwork comes first. Make sure that their schoolwork comes first. Make sure.
Well, we have, and it is not just about basketball. Based on the team we have a teacher, we have an engineer, so and we have ladies as part of the team, so to do mentorship, and those things. And actually today I had a lady, a Dominican, who is based in England, and she works with the Ministry of Sports in England. So she came down and she was doing a few sessions with me. Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, that's very good. That's very good, But as I said, I just said earlier on, one thing I always encourage very early, that make them understand that your schoolwork is very important, very, very
paramount. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, Lobby, at that age, 6, 7, parents would be crazy not to have the children.
You can make them read. You can make them do some reading, right, in between. On the spot, make them read something. You talk to them about the game. What is the game? Let them get a level of education of the sport. Is very important.
But then, let me ask you, when school reopens, you won't have the midweek sessions anymore, right?
Of course. Remember, school ends at 1 o'clock,
Yeah, but you remember you have students all the way from Grand Bay. I mean, that's going to be a bit tough.
Yeah.
Somebody,
No, but when I say Grand Bay, they go into school, not just Grand Bay Secondary School. Convent High School, grammar school.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yes, yes. So they're in tongue already. So all you have to do is just, you know, and
Okay.
yeah, just move across, And I don't know if you all can remember that I was part of the coaching team for the Convent High School, which we won the championship. You know, and actually in that academy we have at least 8 girls, you know, already starting to practice for the next league that coming up. Yeah, so
But are you getting assistance from the Basketball Association?
I spoke with Donny about that. He said he'll get back to me, so I just waiting, and then I just waiting. But honestly, Sibo, I just doing what I have to do at the end of the day. So anybody that can chip in whichever way they can, I'd appreciate that. One former basketball player who assisted.
Hold on. You're on air now. You can say to people what you really require to assist you down there. Tell people out there. So a lot of people are listening to you.
Yeah, well, that I was just trying to explain to you. There's I don't even can remember Carly Green.
Yes.
Former Blazers basketball player. Yeah, he came down. You're right, and then he, you know, a lot of balls, you know, uniforms, balls, you know, and some other equipment. So I have a few other guys that in the States. Because I posted it too. I send the videos for them, you know, and I posted it, so they're willing to assist because they actually like any initiative where children are concerned. It's a plus for us, you know. It's a plus for us, you know. That's the next generation right there. And as I told the kids today, it's not just about, I would say, looking to play professional. If that is your passion and you really want to get it, you have to put in the work. It's not just coming and train there alone. No, the days when you haven't got training, you have to find a basketball court and you have to shoot the ball. Take shots upon shots every day. Work on your handles. You understand? If you want to really make it out there. I tell them the last person in the draft was a Trinidadian, the 60th pick. So it is possible. You just have to work through it and then you'll get there. I just there to assist, you know, and put as much effort as I can with the students, and then the rest is up to them. So they have to want it, you know. Have to want it.
Denver Thompson, you know, if someone just came in and started listening to your conversation, they probably would not know exactly what it is that you're engaged in. And so just give a little bit more information about your academy, where you're located, and so on. Basic information that if somebody's listening now, they say, oh, you know, I have a child who is interested, you know, whether you're still accepting persons to come in, just some basic information that might help our listeners if they want to be a part of this.
Okay, I'll repeat myself again. Denver Dublin, founder, coordinator, director of Beyond Hoops Academy. And then I have a few other members, part of the team, another trainer and myself. And the Basketball Hoops Academy is basically to give the children the opportunity to express themselves through sports. You know, help them through the discipline, to manage their time, you know, to be leaders, future leaders of the country. And the academy actually takes place in the indoor facility in Massac, weekdays and on Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. If anyone wants to register, can call my number 617-8237.
Repeat it again.
On the number 27. Okay. 617-8237 or 277-7530.
Nice.
Okay, excellent. That's great.
Yeah, the age is from basically 6 to 17. Co-ed, boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Nice.
And you're still accepting persons, right? You're still accepting, even as we speak.
As much as we can. Nobody's left behind.
Excellent.
Nice,
Excellent.
nice. Well, Denver, thank you very much for joining us, and feel free anytime to call me again. You want to let people know what's happening? Feel free anytime. Okay?
Okay, and you the three of you all just pass around next week. Just pass around, man. Just pass around. Take a look at how you know it's progressing.
I promise you next week I'll come.
Next
That's
week,
a promise.
Wednesday, right?
I'll come. I'll come for sure. I promise you. So
Okay,
I'll be in
cool.
touch with you. So you'll tell me when you, and I'll come down there. I
Yes,
promise
yes,
you that.
yes.
Okay?
We will step into
Yeah,
it.
man.
I promise you I'll come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Have a good night. Yeah, man. Cool.
Right on. No, before we go to the next, Ronald Charles, Lobby and Dr. Funky, I don't know if you saw that. 10 months ago, a gentleman called Walter popped the Lakers for $10 billion. Do you know yesterday he sold it for 12 billion? No, he didn't. Eh?
What? That quickly.
Billion, eh?
12.5
billion dollars, yeah.
And he sold it for.
He sold it 10 months later for 12 point. Yesterday he sold it to two guys bought it.
Wow.
Because you know, there's this thing that the Lakers is one of the most storied franchises in the United States. And obviously the guy probably feel he'll make back the money. He bought it, he sold it after buying it for 10 billion last year.
That's a super
10 months
deal.
later to $12.5 billion yesterday. It's been
Wow,
bought.
that's a super
When I
investment.
saw that, I said, man, look, some crazy figure. $12 billion to sell a team. My goodness, man. I
Bastian,
don't understand. Hello, Billy?
Bastian, you see that I was telling you that the players, what the players are getting are peanuts. What they're getting? What the players are getting are peanuts. You see what? How much?
So when a guy gets, okay, look at, for instance, what's his name? Donovan Mitchell just resigned extension of contract, 4 years, $300 and something million. That is peanuts?
Yeah, it's still to what the owners making.
No, well, again, that's the mistake you're making. What people make their business, you have to study what you get. What the owners make, they're spending their money. Okay, when a guy spends $12.5 billion, he has to try and make his money.
You have to try and make money on what I mean. The players themselves, they're human, you know.
Yeah, but so if a man gets 4 years, $300 and something million, that's not good enough?
Do you know, Sebastian, that break down the 300 million, how many the taxes and so what gets into it? You'll be amazed when that thing is broken down, what the players get.
At least he will not get less than 40 million a year.
Yeah,
he will not get less than that.
The owners making, I tell you, hototo, they are making.
Well, I'll say whatever they make, they're spending their money. So I wouldn't look at it. You have to study. LeBron James, you know, has made in basketball contracts over $500 million. You know, nobody has made more than him in basketball contracts. So anyway,
Things are better now.
Okay, we have Ronald Charles on the line. The same Ronald Charles. I think he has some this weekend some races, so he's going to tell us all about it. Mr. Charles, bonsoir.
Yeah, bonsoir. Good evening to honorable gentlemen in the likes of Mr. Dr. Thompson Fontaine, of course, Lovey. I call him the man with great vision. And of course, you have Sibo, the man with the great. You used to use the bat a lot, so it's a pleasure. And of course, you don't like me to say it yet, but I will say it nonetheless. The next Prime Minister of Dominica.
You're talking about Dr. Fontaine, not me. You're saying that about, right?
Ronald, before you start, that's what I want to ask you. Before you start, Ronald, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, the Olympic Games coming up in 2 years' time. The Olympic Games. How, in terms of qualifying, what do we have to do to get qualified?
And are you specifically referring to cycling, or are you referring to sports? Cycling. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. The Pan Am Games have been engaging with the Dominican Olympic Committee in various disciplines to include organizational structure that is for the various clubs and, of course, like Dominica Cycling Association and so forth. And what we've been doing is really the preparation for that event. It includes and not limited to coaching sessions and so forth. As we speak, I myself am engaged in a coaching course that would start. It started last evening, and it will be ending from a year from now, which is in April, I believe, of 2027. So I think there are preparations being done. so that we can reach the Olympic goal. But for Dominican, it is important that the listeners understand that. When you look at Italy and Great Britain and France and so forth, to qualify in the Olympics for cycling, one would have to be a professional. And, that carries a different kettle of fish.
Yep.
Notwithstanding that, we're lucky enough as being part of Zone 4, or we call it Category 4. These are the countries like ourselves, St. Lucia, Grenada, and some of the other countries are able to get, you can use the local parlance and say, get a buy-in to be able to participate in these international events. I'm hoping that the day will come when we will, matter of fact, let me reverse what I'm saying. In any case, we are lucky enough this year, 2026, Coab Baron will be participating in the UCI, championships, cycling championships in Montreal, Canada. And as we speak, he's doing a lot of preparation in this regard. So we will see and hear of Coab Baron in the World Championships in Canada come September 20th to the 26th of this year. So to answer your question, yes, we're doing what we can in our capacity to get there. There has been and there continue to be a lot of challenges, but we will get there one day.
Now, Ronald, just now, yes, you have to tell the listeners, with cycling, you have road and you have track, right? So which area you're looking at?
That's a very good question. When our two athletes went up in July, and that is Stefan and Ross Temple, they were introduced to, of course, they were introduced to track cycling.
Mm-hmm.
But for Dominican, the region, we're really into road cycling because we do not have the facility to do so. Of course, that would be infrastructural work would have to be done. Trinidad, as it was way advanced. Another fact, Trinidad has a UCI, which is the International Body Satellite program, where they have facilities, they have coaches and so forth. And don't be surprised that Trinidad will be, you may just see a Trinidadian being to top those categories. So we don't go into track, we only do road racing. We are looking at BMX and mountain bikes, but again, to do that, we'd have to put in the necessary infrastructure, which would mean we have to get a piece of land and we have to develop it in a way that we can introduce these events. Or these additional events. So that is where we are in terms of that.
Right, Ronald. What's happening this weekend now? Tell us now.
Yes, so this weekend, and I put a big question mark where the permits, would have the, we call it Champions of the Flats. That is on Sunday, the 16th of August, 2026, from 9 a.m. in the morning, Marboy's Bar to Kingsfield, roundabout and back 8 times. You're talking about just over
say that again.
50 miles.
8 times, you mean 8, you say?
Yes,
Wow.
8 times. And yes, so we will have that for all the categories. Well, the juniors and the ladies, if they participate, or that is more or less the ladies, then the amount would be lessened. It would be about 5 rounds or 4 rounds and so forth. So yes, that is what we have for this weekend. Of course, we want to continuously, thank those who make it possible. The airways that we are now on, Q95, of course, the Dominican Olympic Committee, always there, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, and not forgetting HHV Research and Company Limited, and Marboyd, always there to open the doors for us so that we can do the necessary races. So this is a call after about 3 cancellations, and that had to do with the heavy traffic that we had. We had, we had fest in the Grand Bay area, we had bikes in all over the area, and we always take the position that once there are serious activities on the road, we tend to not to host any races. So we're going to resume this weekend, weather permit, and so we'll see who is going to be the champion of the flat. Your guess is as good as mine. It may just be the same Ronald Charles.
What time do you start on Sunday? What time?
9 o'clock in the morning.
So it's open to everybody, Ronald. It's open, right? Is it open?
Yes.
Open.
Because at the end of the day, what we really want to do is to promote the sport. I mean, we are doing these races, and a lot of people sometimes, they feel a sense of hesitance. because they feel like, boy, I can't go on a bike and race. And sometimes, you know, we are not really fully into the racing only. As I'm on this topic, we will have an event for we call it the Cycling Kiddies Festival that we host almost every year. This one will be held at the Bayfront, where all the young people come, you know, between the ages of 4 and down to 32 to about 12, and where they come and they use the Bayfront area, secured area, together with the police, and then we do what we have to do. So we're going to have that activity again. But we want to encourage people to be on a bike. I mean, it is something that we should start to be encouraged to do. You know, rather you live in Goodwill, rather taking your car and going down in the traffic. You take your nice little bike and you put your helmet on your head, and then you can reach just down by the ministry and you're at work, and then you ride back up. I think that is what we would love to see and promote, that kind of traversing within a community like ours, especially Roseau, where it's congested and there's a lot of vehicles. Again, we're asking motorists to look out, you know, because sometimes we get really, I mean, we don't report it much, but there's limited respect for cyclists on the road. And of course, I want to send it out to cyclists too, that is important that they too respect the traffic signs, and we can all live, you know, in a great place and do what we have to do. So this is what we want to promote, and that's why a lot of our coaches are now engaging in coaching courses, commercial courses, mechanical courses, because that in itself will help us in our solidarity program. Because what the bigger bosses and them are saying in the UCI, that hey, in order that you can get upgrade bikes, in order that you can get more bikes, you need to have certain things in place. So for us to go to phase 2, we need to do what we have to do. And I want to congratulate all the young people that have engaged in doing different courses so that we can get some help. I'm still waiting on the government convention that was promised to us some time now. I see a couple other people get it. We haven't gotten it yet. We need it. We need it to help the young people of Dominica. It's not Ronald Charles. Ronald Charles is just the conduit to make things happen in terms of cycling. And when more people come on board, it's better for us. But what I'm saying is, if there's a convention, if there's a subvention that was promised to all associations, why is there so much of a delay? I didn't hear about it in the budget. I didn't hear anything about it. But we're hoping, we're still remaining hopeful that sports is one of the conduits that could bring a massive change in our economy and give the country that sense of belonging, that sense of hope, where young people can start to feel that there is a different avenue for doing what they can do to improve on their economic life and improve that of their families. And when the government take it to mean that you don't want to give cycling anything, you do not want to do this because Ronald Charles might just be in it, and I don't want, you know, his name calling this and that, and that kind of foolishness approach to sports, it needs to stop immediately. And when sports organizations are promised things, it needs to be delivered. And when we have facilities that are not yet up to grade, it needs to be upgraded, because we have an Olympic champion, the name of Miss Fear, and she has brought, I mean, you look at how Julian Alfred in St. Lucia, you go in the airport, she's there. You're going down the fig tree, she's there. You're going on the lane, she's there. Everywhere there is posters, there's promotions, and there are things happening around this international athlete. And therefore, I'm not saying that we're not doing what we can, but we need to do more. We need to do more so that people benefit across the board. And that is why I say if we have a council, we have a sports council, we have the DOCs doing what they can in their capacity, the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica needs to take on board, let the budget highlight sports, give the young people what they need in order that they can become better people within our society, or young boys. Although one will say that we're doing relatively well in some of the sporting disciplines, at the end of the day, there's much more that can be done. And therefore, I beg of the government, and I'm asking them to do the right thing, and to start giving and empowering these organizations so that they can do the work for the young people of the Commonwealth of Dominica. But, you know, I think if they waste too much time, there is somebody in your studio that will ensure sports get the necessary attention.
The person listening to you for sure. The person listening to you.
I hope it is so.
He listening to you. Well, Ronald, thank you. I know you're a bit busy. You have something you have to go do now. So next week we'll keep in touch with you. You'll tell us what has happened, and we will tell this.
No problem.
Thank
No
you, man.
problem. Thank you, and God bless.
Right.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. Guys, we have a few minutes of cricket. Hear this. You remember last week, the test match finished last Wednesday, right? Dr. Funky Lobby. Chase couldn't bowl, right? He couldn't bowl at all. 2 days later, he got so well, he was bowling for St. Lucia Kings. Was it the Brandon King couldn't bat for West Indies? A few days later, he's batting for Jamaica. He made 70-something. So you wonder what the hell is going on. Yeah, wonder really. Chase couldn't bowl in test match. He said he was injured. He didn't realize. So they didn't play an extra spinner. Couple days later, he's captain in the St. Lucia King and bowled his 4 overs. By the way, he bowled his 4 overs. Brandon King couldn't bat. West Indies batting with 10 men. But Brandon King batting, playing for the Babylon franchise.
I mean, we've Chase, I can understand 20-24 overs and probably in the test match a lot more overs. But what I'm saying is that the failure to recognize the pitch that you're going to play on and not taking an extra spinner, especially when your host made the adjustments and you on your home turf not making the adjustments. I mean, that is unparalleled. Your guess, your guess. I mean, they're the host of the guest, and it is just amazing that Pakistan made the adjustment
and played 2 spinners.
And
the spinner they played got 8 wickets in the match. The off spinner, he got 8 wickets in the game.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Yes, maybe good.
Yes. Remember that test match in Dominica against Pakistan?
Pakistan
haven't
played there.
It's
Pakistan
India.
never played in Dominica. It's India. Pakistan
It was India. Okay, it was India then. When Chase and this fast bowler from Trinidad go batting.
Let me see. It was against Pakistan, right?
Pakistan.
Yeah, one Gabriel. I was a selector at the time.
This mighty hawk. Hawk.
In fact,
yes.
Chase took a single when he should have not exposed Gabriel. And time was running out. It probably would have been the last over.
The last over.
Yeah, Shannon Gabriel, yeah. One I don't know what
he tried to win the game with 6.
Well, not win. He couldn't win the game. They put men around the bat, and he felt the best way to get him away is to fire Lash. And my goodness, I was sitting in the plane under the tent at the time, and everybody was speechless.
Yeah,
nobody could have believed.
You'd have to punish that player.
We have a caller. Hold on. We have a caller. Hold on.
No. It's important. I'm going to finish
that. Lobby, the caller is on the line. One of you, come on. Good evening, caller. Hello, go ahead. Yes.
No, I want to finish that.
Hold on, Mr. Medad. Go ahead, Lobby. Go ahead.
Yes, Sebastian. Why I brought it up? The same thing happened with Chase in that test match there with Chase. You know, he as the captain, he gave him a lollipop. He just, they just caught him up.
Oh, you mean the left-arm spinner when he
right?
just back?
Yes, and the phrase the same. That's why I brought up the game in Dominica. The same way he batted.
It was Shannon Gabriel. Yeah, you're right. It was Shannon
Gabriel, and then see what Chase did there in Trinidad. Get him back an easy ball and easy way as the captain.
The CPL is going on now. By the way, in a few minutes, Jamaica play Guyana in Jamaica. But the composition of the teams, I have a problem. Mr. Menard, hold on. The composition of the team, I don't understand it.
I agree with you.
In the IPL, it's basically for Indians. You'll see no foreigner has captained any team in the IPL. But you look in the West Indies, the Guyana captain is a 48-year-old man. He retire. You have, which other team? And I don't understand why you have all these foreign people captain.
But I don't understand that. Not only that, and when you have a player like Alec, not even been given an opportunity.
One game, and then you drop him.
I mean, what is going on?
But I mean, what you do with people like Fletcher and Johnson? Where you going with this kind of people? Let's be real.
So it means that the CPL has nothing to do with nurturing talent.
No.
That's what the IPL does. It nurtures their own talent. So that's not what the CPL is doing. They're actually a betting platform.
Yeah, it's only, but the CPL is for men to make the money.
That's what I'm saying. It's a betting platform.
Yeah,
people bet on the games, and that's it. And
West Indies cricket not going in. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Sebastian. How are you doing?
Very good, Sir Charles.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
Mr.
it.
Menard, you can call back. We cut you up by mistake. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Charles.
Okay, no problem. I just called to give a correction. It was Australia that was playing against West Indies, not Pakistan.
No. It was not Australia because
I was in the park. I was watching that game, and
when Shannon Gabriel,
line was in the all states was in the Viking. We are in for Australia.
Say that again.
Pakistan. Leon Lyon or something like that.
No. Nathan Lyon is an Australian off spinner. Hold on.
Right, I'm telling you, Australia with Pakistan.
No. When Shannon Gabriel made that wild slug,
because Pakistan,
it was against the Pakistan leg spinner for sure.
Yeah.
Chase made 125 for sure.
Yeah, but I was like in the stadium when that game that rain.
Yeah, but that stroke. On that day, it was Shannon Gabriel against the right.
I know it was Shannon Gabriel. I'm not saying no. I'm saying it's not us. It's Australians, but not Pakistan.
No, it wasn't Australia. So, Charles, it was Pakistan. That shot, Chase made 100. It was not Australia. It was Pakistan. He played that. He made that shot against. For sure.
I'll prove it to you again. No problem.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, really, it was Pakistan, the leg spin. Yeah, but going back to the CPL, it's just a big nonsense that is going on. And these teams, all you have, for instance, look at the Trinidad team. You have 2 foreigners opening the batting. You go on a whole set of, how are you going to develop your talent? How are you going to do that? It cannot be. So I just went to drop Afanas and fill up people like John Sichar. Now, in this one, John Sichar was playing for St. Lucia. Sammy obviously doesn't want him there anymore. Feel it's time for him to move on. If you look at the St. Lucia team, they have a lot of young guys now playing. A lot of young guys. But we find you leave out young people and have Fletcher, Johnson, Charles, all people who are discarded playing. Honestly, it really not helping West Indies cricket. Honestly, no one. Caller. Good evening. Hello. Yes, Mr. Menard. Yeah. Good night.
Yeah. As I follow the conversation, which you rightfully said, this West Indies and the CPL just continue to be a big joke. Well, if I can speak in reference to our team, I think it's Patriots. Imagine Johnson Charles, as I said, may have nothing against no one because all of us are one people, one Caribbean. But anybody who is serious, to be honest, right now, will select Johnson Charles and any team where you have younger and people who can contribute and do almost the same. Because he can bowl. Louis also can bowl. And these are guys in the mid-20s who can actually contribute more in terms of the future. But this is a big money thing. It's a big money, and there is no serious plan in terms of developing West Indies cricket. No serious plan. Because as you rightfully mentioned, which other league around the world would have somebody 40-something, the person 40-something ain't even from the Caribbean. Yeah. And somebody like, say, a Heckmeyer in the team, and you can invest in your own people. Where are we going? What are we doing? What are we saying? So the guys them who can't even bat, who can't even bowl, get an opportunity and they're smiling all the way to the bank. Look at the young guy from Jamaica. Look at the young guy, not even developed himself as yet, but he in the Jamaica team. Where soon you're going to maybe hear him get an IPL contract. And then, bam, he's a big shot in the...
Mr. Menard, hold on. We don't want to tell Sir Charles. Sir Charles, you have the information to prove you were wrong. Hold on.
Yes, so Sir Charles, I have the records there. It was actually West Indies versus Pakistan in Dominica. And that match was in 2017, May
Right.
10 to 14, 2017. Chase was 101 not out, and Shannon Gabriel got bowled by Baba Azam.
Baba Brad.
No, it was not Baba
But
Azam.
you-
No.
No, sorry, that's
No,
in first inning. Sorry, no, okay,
No,
I'm
second
sorry,
inning,
sorry.
not Baba.
In
The leg
second
spinner
inning,
bowled.
He was
got
bowled. Sorry,
Gabriel
he was
bowled.
bowled by Yasik Shah.
Yeah, exactly. The right arm leg spinner.
Yes.
I remember clearly. I was a selector. I was sitting
Yes.
right there in the pavilion.
So that was the game.
So it was not Australia, Charles. So you
Right.
you're wrong
Now,
there.
Australia actually played us in 2015.
And
in
Shane
Roseau.
got a whole set of wickets in that game. You
So
remember?
we had cricket in 2015 against
Yeah.
Australia, but it was Pakistan.
Pakistan, not
Yes,
Australia at all.
in 20.
Yeah, I mean,
20,
everybody was stunned.
17, yeah.
There was that kind of stroke from Shannon Gabriel. It was one of the wildest slugs you could ever think of
Yes.
a batsman could make.
And the
in a
most
situation.
memorable, I mean, you had one ball.
Not to block the
Just to
ball,
block.
and the match would have been drawn, and the series
The
would have been
series
drawn.
drawn.
So you play that stroke, and the series is lost. You know, they say he all that affected him a lot. Eh?
But of course, it
In
must
fact, when he
affect you, I
went
mean.
back, they didn't see him for months. You know,
Yes,
in Trinidad,
yes,
nobody-
he went
in
into
fact,
a depression.
He and I spoke a lot to him. I texted him many times, no response.
response. He
Nobody
was
saw
depressed.
Shannon for a long time because that was. I mean,
yes.
in fact, the evening he never slept. They had to take him to the airport early morning. You know, early morning, and leave him in a car, checked in for him, and then they'd put him on the tarmac and let him go because the guy's mind was really warped, man. It was something else. I mean,
Yes. Well, yeah.
who would have thought somebody could do something like that? I mean, that was really shocking.
But
Huh?
in Trinidad, see how he got out in Trinidad. See how he
Was
got-
Shannon Gabriel?
I wonder if Mr. Menard recalls that moment.
Mr. Menard, you remember
that
it?
moment?
Mr. Menard, do you remember that incident when Shannon Gabriel played that reckless, extremely reckless shot? You remember that? It was in Dominica, and West Indies lost the match.
And the series.
Yeah, he was batting with Ross and Chase at the time.
Chase was 101
Yeah,
not
and he went to
out.
the park. Yeah.
And he had one ball to face to draw the match, and he went for mighty heave for 6 and got bowled.
You know, it's only now you can laugh at something like that.
Well, that's the same nonsense that you're accustomed. If you have a middle order or opening batsman over the years who would have done that nonsense, maybe Gabriel might say, well, why y'all want to blame me? I'm not a batsman.
Yes, yes.
But you know, I'll tell you what, Dr. Fountain, I did an interview with a major radio station after, and then I said to at the time that I wouldn't blame Shannon Gabriel so much because what he was selected to do, he did it. And the match we won in Barbados, remember he took 5 for 11 in the second inning,
that's
and West
correct.
Indies won that game.
That's correct.
So in fact, Gabriel had batted almost 40 minutes, you know. Now, nobody expect Gabriel to bat all that time. He stayed with Chase for at least 40 minutes. So I wouldn't really blame him for the shot he played because what he was selected to do, he did his job. The batsman should have stayed there and batted.
Yeah. But Sibo, a little bit about the selection for the CPL and what that does to young players. When you have a young player, Afanaz, who clearly has cricket in him still, and he's still
a
very
young boy, 27 years.
20
yeah.
still has a lot of cricket to go, but he's treated in that manner where he's discarded and guys who are 40 odd years still playing ahead of him. I mean, what does that do to a young player?
His psyche, but let's be real. Where you going with Fletcher and John Charles now? To be fair, both these guys opening the batting. They were in the St. Lucia team. John Charles is from there. Obviously, Stanley felt that it's time for them to move away from him. And you can leave out a young guy like Ali Kafanaz and have John Charles and Fletcher still play. It's real nonsense. I mean,
It does. And I fear, I mean, that's my whole fear, you know, what that does to your confidence and so on. And
But you know what happens to, here you have, okay, for instance, in St. Vincent, they don't have a franchise, but they can get matches. So when you go cozy with the people that run the thing, just for you to get a benefit to have St. Lucia getting matches, you're not able to really speak to them about this kind of corruption. Because I call that corruption, that you don't have a franchise. It never happened before. The first few matches were played in St. Vincent because the president used his influence to get them to play there. So how are you going to tell them when they're doing things wrong? Like you have people like Afanaz cannot play, and you have Johnson Charles and them there doing the nonsense every year. 14 years now, this guy's playing in this thing. 14 years. So it's really not right. It is just not correct.
And then also to me, not only Afanas, but other young players who can begin to play and get exposure and the practice and so on, they have been denied.
Yes, surely.
It's unfortunate.
It's not fair.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Menard, your last word, because we have come to the end of the program. Last words quickly.
Well, maybe another time, because I wanted to touch on the politics. That is my thing. But I wish the opposition all the very, very best. I think Dominica definitely need a new direction.
No, that's for us, brother. When you come top spots.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mr. Menard. Thank you very much. Right, guys? The test match, Bangladesh and continues at 8:30. Bangladesh in a good position. The CPL tonight, you have Guyana playing Jamaica in Jamaica. It starts a few minutes' time. They start. So go ahead,
No, I'm just thinking of the case of the sneaker. I'm still baffled as to what went wrong.
You can check it on Cricket.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it.
It came up. It's all over the
In fact, he said he was walking down.
Yeah.
And because he hit the ball. The umpire says not out. The Bangladesh people were jumping because they're sure. They were sure he was out.
I just saw the picture. You can see the ball literally on the bat. Yeah. And the sneaker line is flat.
Right. So obviously, if men who control the thing know, or they could manipulate it as well. They could manipulate it. So this kind of, that is why sometimes you can't really trust this kind of technology. Because the batsman knew he hit the ball. He was walking down. When he saw the referral and it showed a flat line, and he said the umpire said not, and he couldn't believe that. I mean, really. So that match continues tonight, 8:30. India, I think that's tomorrow too as well. India and Sri Lanka, the first test, I think it's late tonight, maybe tonight or tomorrow. I can't remember right now. So, yes, guys, Dr. Fontaine told you about the weather. Everybody be careful this weekend. And I'm sure on the Workers' Voice, you will alert people again. Although you said it's moving quickly, so we might not really get much damage, you say, Dr.
Yeah, just some gusty winds that was expected.
Tomorrow
some
night.
rain and rain tomorrow night.
Well,
into
thank
Saturday.
God, because we really can't afford to take out. You'll have too much work to do if Dominica gets damaged again. So on behalf of Emmanuel Black and Dr. Fontaine, I will say good night. The Workers' Voice follow, so people keep listening. You will hear all the details of this corruption that's going on in this, whatever it is, confirmation or whatever it is. So a lot of work has to be done. Good night, everybody. We'll be back next week. Good night.